So let's start with the ethics and acceptance. So when you talk about ethics and acceptance, so every professional profession, I would say, uh, has certain code of conduct and ethics part of it. Okay. So when you talk about the code of conduct and ethics part of it, why we need this ethics, the professional ethics one? The reason is it is going to create or build confidence in the public. In the public interest, we need to create that confidence towards that profession. Why we have medical doctor को हम क्यों believe करते हैं? Why do we believe in a doctor? Because the doctor, we trust him because the body has created a kind of an environment, a certain code of conduct, certain professional ethics from an individual point of view, that they are not going to compromise on their services. Okay, hence we trust them. Okay, though we will be seeing certain fraud things, but overall the profession is being trusted. The same way we say the lawyers. Why we say profession? There is a body, the bar council, which is going to regulate the functioning of the profession part, both the individual and as a in the profession as well. Similarly, the accountancy is again another profession which has to be regulated both from an individual point of view, that is the practitioners who are practicing the profession, and the profession per se, like what are the guidelines, like we have seen the corporate governance in the previous chapter. So why we have that corporate governance? So that the board can create the trust in the minds of the shareholders who are actually the owners of the company, who are not managing. Similarly, this is going to create the trust in the profession, and also the practitioners to behave and what we say in a very professional and ethical manner. Okay, and what are the principles that are going to guide them in behaving that? Okay, so let's go with one. The need for professional ethics, the one that we just discussed, it is professional accountants have a responsibility to act in public interest. Though you might be working or servicing a particular client, but whenever you're servicing it, you have to ensure that the public interest at large, because the engagement that you're going to take is going to increase the confidence of the intended user. Who is the user here? The shareholders. The shareholders are the users who are going to trust you, who are going to trust you. Why? Because you are doing the external audit. You are doing the external audit part of it. So hence, they are going to trust the professional who is providing the assurance. So the moment you give your opinion in your report, okay, in a favorable manner, they are going to believe that. Hence, why they are going to believe that? Because they assume that your opinion is unbiased. So here, the independence can be defined as the freedom from situation and relationship where objectivity would be perceived to be impaired by a reasonable and informed third party. So why they are going to believe? Because they assume that being a third person, you are free from the pressure, the situations part of it, and hence your opinion matters a lot. And second thing, why we need this assurance part of it? Practitioners needs to behave and be seen to behave in an ethical, professional manner. That's the reason we have code of ethics. That is the reason we have code of ethics. The IFAC. Okay. So what is IFAC? हम लोगों ने देखा. Hmm? So tell me, what is IFAC? It is nothing but International Federation of Accountants, nothing else. Okay, and ACCA, they came together to create an ethics code for ethics and conduct. Ethics in the profession, conduct in the behavior of the professional. So together they came with a conceptual framework. Together they came with a conceptual framework, which is segregated into three parts. One is the fundamental principles that you need to adhere to. Then the threats that you need to consider into. Why? Because there are many threats. When you want to do things right, you have a lot of problems, right, to do the things right. Okay, and then what safeguard measures that you need to take or you can take to ensure that you handle the threats in a very efficient manner. Okay, so IFSC through the IESBA जो अपने previous chapter में देखा था has issued a code of ethics, as has the ACC also. So we have both the code of ethics. Okay, so one for the professionals, one for the profession. Okay, so both of these codes have the same rules. That is, the intention or the purpose is very much similar. We can say that. So both follow conceptual framework. One, fundamental principles. That is how the behavior, ethical behavior. Two, the potential threats that you normally well pass through when you're complying with the principles. Then possible safeguards so that you can eliminate those threats while you are doing your job. So how you can reduce those things. So ethical guidance can be either principle based or rule based. Remember that. Ethical guidance is based on either principle based or rule based. Let's see both the ones. Okay, because when it's rule based, remember it's very easy to follow. When it is rule based, it's very easy to follow. Okay, but when it's principle based, the problem is that it is very flexible. Like for an example, अभी समझ लो for a case, let's say if you see most of the institutes or the companies, okay, let's say for an example they have a policy कि भैया अगर आपने एडमिशन लिया है तो in case you are happy and within 5 days you are not giving them the feedback that you don't like it and you want to cancel your admission, so they'll assume that you are continuing, so hence no refund. समझ लो for an example, अब no refund है, अब देर आर IITs और MBAs, नॉट MBAs, IITs या फिर मेडिकल एंट्रेंस के लिए जो फीस पे करते हैं 2 लाख 3 लाख 5 लाख तक जाता है, right? They are paying that amount in advance. Probably they might pay 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs. अब 5 दिन के बाद अगर उसको 5 नहीं 10 या 15 दिन या 1 महीना हो गया, कोर्स तो 1 साल का रहेगा, राइट? अब 1 महीना हो गया ना, लेट्स से प्रिंसिपल बेस्ड एंड रूल बेस्ड हियर. The rule says that after 5 days, in case you cancel it, no refund, right? So that means अगर मैं बोलूँगा, if I am the operation manager or the branch manager, what will I say? No refund, right? है कि नहीं? It's very easy to follow because the rules are clearly defined, right? Ganesh, Omer, Urvi?
Yes.
भाई ये प्रिंसिपल बेस्ड बोलेंगे एथिकली, तो ओमेर आप क्या करोगे एथिकली? डू यू थिंक यू नीड टू रिटेन दैट मनी? 2 लाख लिया है और आपने बस 15 दिन हुए हैं, डोंट यू थिंक यू शुड रिफंड इट? यू आर वेरी रिस्पेक्टेबल. प्रिंसिपल ये बोलता है यार 15 दिन ही हुए हैं, उसको बच्ची एडजस्ट नहीं हो पा रही एंड आप क्या रिफंड दे दोगे ना? जो भी थोड़ा 5-10 हजार या 15-20 हजार काट के 1,80,000 आप दे दोगे कि नहीं दोगे?
हाँ सर.
राइट, whereas that means what? अब आपने 2 लाख लिया और आपने रोटेशन में घुमा दिया, अब सडनली 1,80,000 देना है, तो विच इज इजी टू फॉलो? इज इट प्रिंसिपल बेस्ड और रूल बेस्ड?
Rule based.
उमेर, गणेश, क्योंकि एक बार आपने एडमिशन ले लिया, आपको देने का मन करेगा? उमेर,
Business के लिए नहीं.
so that's where it is. If you see the major principles of business is keep the business out of the individual. As there is an owners and business should be separate. The first thing that they did in the private limited company or any company is keep it separate. So इसलिए जो भी रहता है business को sentiments बाजू में कर दिया, but the parents या फिर the बच्चे या फिर anyone, any business part of it, for that reason any customer, they always try to exploit the humanitarian grounds or the sentimental part of it, or that's where the principle based approach comes into place. When you are following the rule based approach, it's very easy. Okay, there's no much of modifications, there is no deviations much, okay, in the rule based. Whereas in principle based, you'll see that it's very difficult to apply across the country. Okay, because Gujaratis might do business in one way, Maharashtrians, people in Maharashtra will do a business in different way. A Madrasi or a South Indian is going to do business in a different way. North Indian. So I will not be able to create a common platform in case everyone is not. If I'm going with principle-based approach, okay. So whereas in rule-based approach, it's very easy. You can, in case any updation is there, you can easily update. Why? Because the moment I update, everywhere it will be applicable. You are a point. And the same way you can
So
encourage.
then why they don't follow the rule-based approach? Why principle-based? कुछ एक main reason तो रहेगा ना?
So अभी यहाँ पे
Because just
देखेंगे.
now you told कि
Mhm.
rule-based तो बहुत easy रहता है comply करने
Right,
में.
exactly. So I'll tell you. You have a rule based. Why we need to have a blend of both? Okay. So in fact, most of the places we go rule based only. Simple. You got a point. So it depends upon how you're going. So when you talk about ethics part of it, it is applicable to individual. That's the reason we say. यहाँ पे टॉपिक क्या था अपना चैप्टर का नाम? What is the name of the chapter today? Ethics and
Acceptance.
right. So अब यहाँ पे जो है how you're applying that, see, the professional is supposed to understand the ethics and the code of conduct and apply it in his profession. So the applicability, that's where the principles comes into place. So yeah, यहाँ पे देखते हैं what is the difference part and which one should we follow. Let's see. अब यहाँ पे क्या है flexibility, so that you can apply in case you want flexibility, then you go principle based approach. In case no, I don't want flexibility, I want to make my life easy, then rule based. If you see most of the people, if they are rule based, their life is very easy. Okay, they do not have any hard feelings. Okay, let's have an example. You are my boss, and I want to take leave. I want to take a leave, some emergency, medical emergency, or personal emergency. The rule says that if a person already taken 5 leaves in a month, you are not supposed to give any additional leave, irrespective of whichever it is. So then what happens? You can clearly say no, right? In a rule based, you can clearly say no because saying that I can't give it. If you take it, then it's unpaid, or you might take any disciplinary action as well. Whereas principle based, you are flexible. What you'll say, ठीक है कल आप छुट्टी ले लो और you compensate the coming Sunday or some holiday. You are fine. So if you want flexibility, follow the principle based. If you want simple, easier to follow, go for rule based. Same way, principle may be applied across national boundaries where laws may not, whereas rules only apply in a particular situations. Okay, and requires the accountant to use professional judgment when it comes to principle, whereas in rules there is no professional. आपको दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. They're very narrow. You don't need to interpret any requirements, nothing, no decision part of it, nothing else, right? In rule based, do you need any professional judgment part of it? You just need to blindly follow. And again, it requires principle based. It requires compliance with spirit of guidance, and can still incorporate specific rules by for ethical situations likely to affect many firms. Whereas rule based, virtually impossible to able to deal with every situation. Why? Because one rule can give you an access to one situation part or probably few, but not every situation. So hence it's very important. That's the reason applying for across the boundaries is little tedious implementation part of it. Okay. So depending on which one you need to follow. So that's the reason in day to day, practitioners should apply the spirit of code to everyday practice. Professional bodies such as ACC have the right to discipline members who fail to comply the code of ethics. Code of ethics is what? It is the principles or the rules which an in professional, that is as a certified accountant or chartered certified accountant, you need to follow during your process of being a professional part. So when you do audits, when you're recommending part, like confidentiality and all, so you need to maintain that. Now, how are they trying to take disciplinary action? Okay, so whenever a professional, ACCA professional, does not comply with the ethics, they are going to levy through these modes like suspension of the membership, it's very grave, the issue part, or by just fine, or they can even withdraw the membership if it is very severe, the mistake part of it or the blunder. Okay, so there are five major fundamental principles that needs to be followed. Okay, so number one is objectivity. Then you have professional behavior. Then you have integrity. Then professional competence and due care, and confidentiality. So that means these are the five principles that the industry or an individual can expect from a professional. You want a point? Like for an example, अगर आपका दांत में दर्द है, नॉट दांत में दर्द, अगर आपको बुखार है, you want a point? You go to a doctor. Okay, a doctor is going to address the only the fever that you got. He's not going to give you other tests which you need to take it, though nowadays they are practicing, but as per their codes, they are supposed to address the problem that has been raised. Okay, so here when you talk about objectivity, the members should not allow biased, conflict of interest, or undue influence to override professional or business judgments. Always remember. Okay, let's say for an example, Omer is my friend, and he is running a company, and Ganesh is a professional. He is a professional, but Ganesh और Omer की बनती नहीं है. Okay, but Ganesh is the best ACCA professional in the whole India. Okay, अब Omer ने बुलाया कि यार अगर गणेश बेस्ट है, वो अगर सर्वे करता है कि मेरा कंपनी अच्छी है, so I'm going to create a goodwill and I'm going to raise money in the market. So now, when Ganesh is been invited or his firm is invited for what we say auditing his company, then he should leave his biasness, his interest, conflict of interest, or undue influence of others while doing his or carrying on his audit part. That's the objectivity part. Okay, you're objective to do the external audit. So being a professional, do the audit part of it, give your fair opinion, and then leave. So the here when we talk about objectivity, the purpose is really important, and everything is ignored or not to be taken into consideration, like your biasness, conflict of interest. So in case there is any conflict of interest, then you should clearly say no before you go ahead with the engagement. Okay. Next is professional behavior. Professional behavior is what for the members again. So the members should comply with relevant laws and regulations and should avoid any conduct that discredits the profession. So that means ऐसा कोई भी काम अपने को करना नहीं चाहिए जिसके वजह से ACC as a profession is defamed. Okay, and the same way professional competence and care, इसमें क्या है कि जो भी आप कर रहे हो, लाइक से फॉर एग्जांपल पूर्वी, अभी आपको क्या पसंद है आउट ऑफ फाइनेंस में, कौन सा पसंद है, टैक्स, ऑडिट, या फिर फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट, और व्हाट डू यू लाइक इट? सो व्हाट डू यू लाइक इट उर्वी? विच सब्जेक्ट यू लाइक इट?
Tax.
टैक्स, समझ लो. ओके, नाउ यू आर वेरी गुड विद द टैक्स ऑडिट्स. You have achieved your perfection in the tax audits part of it. Okay, now you have been asked, being an ACCA part of it, to do a risk audit part of it. उसके ऊपर you have the knowledge, but you have been practicing tax for the couple of years, like probably 6 years, 7 years, or 10 years. Okay, now you have achieved your competence in tax, but though you are qualified ACCA and you can do an audit for risk as well, but being a lack of competence in this, you need to what happens, acquire that competence before you do risk audits. You got a point? So whenever you get a probably a client who wants you to do the risk audit, you cannot, you mostly, in case the requirement is someone having experience, then you can clearly, as a professional ethical person, you need to clearly inform to the organizer, the client or the user, that you are not competent enough in carrying on that risk audit. Why? Because you need to have that professional knowledge and skill at that level to ensure that whoever is the employer or the client, okay, they receive the competent professional services, okay, based on current development in practice, legislation, techniques. Because you might have the knowledge because you have passed ACCA, okay, 10 साल पहले, and 10 साल हो गए you have been practicing tax audits, but you have acquired your competency in tax audit, and competency में you can take due care as well, in audit one, but when it comes to risk audits, you may not. So hence during that time you need to ensure that either you acquire the skills before you do it, or you can say no to them, right? है कि नहीं? So when we talk about professional competency, we are talking about the knowledge and the level of the skill that is required in carrying on that particular task. So the same way when we say due care, that means whatever activity that you are doing or task you are carrying on, you need to ensure that you are applying all your technical and professional standards in that particular assignment or the task. Integrity. Integrity means what? Just to be honest in the work that you're doing. Okay. So that means members should be straightforward and honest in all professional and business relationships. And then confidentiality. Confidentiality is what? That means what are the information that you're getting from the client? You are not supposed to trade off. Okay. ये नहीं कि एक client A है and client B, both are your clients and both are rivals and you have both the knowledge. तो A का information आप B को दे रहे हो और B का information आप A को दे रहे हो. No. So understood these 5 principles?
Yes.
Ganesh Omero, any doubts?
No.
Okay. अभी यहाँ पे देखो. अब examples दिए हैं उन्होंने. The real proceeding hearings held decision made and published by the ACCA disciplinary committee. Let's say a member was found guilty of misconduct because they signed the auditor's report without conducting any audit work. So that is what? It is contrary to the principle of integrity. समझ में आया? अब ओमेर है कंपनी एंड गणेश और ओमेर इतने जिगरी दोस्त हैं कि फेविकॉल भी उनका ऐड दे रहे हैं. ओके. सो गणेश ने बोला, ओमेर ने बोला, यार यू नो मी यार, जैसा वी आर थिक इन रिलेशनशिप, वैसे मेरा कंपनी, यू नो, जस्ट साइन कर दे, खत्म कर दे. ओके. तेरे अकाउंट में पैसा तो वैसे भी आ गया है, मैंने ट्रांसफर कर दिया है. ओके. सो नो नीड ऑफ ऑडिट, जस्ट ट्रस्ट फैक्टर, बिलीव मी एवरीथिंग इज फाइन, वी आर डूइंग गुड, साइन करके चले जाओ. So that is where the contrary to the fundamental principle of integrity. Okay, and again, a member was found guilty of misconduct because they failed to advise the client to have an audit when an audit actually was required by the law. So that is what it is, against the principles of what? Professional competence and due care. That means as a professional, you are supposed to advise the employer the right things. So, and when it was required, that audit was as per the law, that time you have not given the advice. That's the reason it is professional competence and due care. Tisra, member was found guilty of misconduct because they failed to reply to correspondence sent by a third party. And ACCA contrary to the fundamental principle of professional behavior. As a professional behavior, you should have replied, but you have not when you are supposed to. Then a member was found guilty of misconduct because they lost possession of a client's book and record to a third party contrary to the fundamental principle of confidentiality. That means, again, so these are the few examples that of all the 5 principles which we should avoid. A member found guilty of misconduct because they carried out an audit of a company in which they own share. So that means what? Conflict of interest hai ki nahi? So own share without implementing appropriate safeguard, contrary to the principle of objectivity. That means they did the audit for the company which they hold shares. In fact, they should have disclosed in the AGM, annual general meeting, that they will not carry on the audit or they don't want to get into the engagement because they have conflict of interest. So, as a result of the following sanctions was ordered by the ACC disciplinary in each case. Like पहले केस में क्या था, integrity नहीं थी, suspend कर दे membership. दूसरे केस में exclusion, तीसरे में because of professional behavior था, fine डाल दिया. Okay, और then चौथे में confidential वजह से they must have ordered pay cost and all. So publishing of the results of the decision and the members' name on the ACC website, publication of the results of the decision and members' name in the local press to make everyone know that this person or the professional is no longer a qualified ACCA. So what are the threats that you might face while carrying on your profession. So first you have to identify how you are going to see the threats. First you have to identify the threats देखना है. Then you have to assess what is the level of intensity. Then you have to take appropriate measures to safeguard. So either it can be you can eliminate the threat part of it, or you can reduce the threat at an acceptable level ताकि वो accept किया जा सके, या फिर you can address that at your level. Okay, so what does a safeguard means? Safeguard means what? To protect. Okay, you can either safeguard means to either you can eliminate the threat or you can reduce it to an acceptable level. So that is an action. So code of ethics divides safeguards into two broad categories. One, safeguard created by the law, the profession. Okay, जैसे अभी मैंने बताया rule वाला. So that is safeguard. Okay, why? Because अगर ओमेर रिफंड नहीं करता, the one example we are going back to the example that we talked about, the student refund. In case the Omer does not refund it, the 2 lakhs paid by the student after 15 days. So what is happening? He is protected by the rules, the law, right? Right, Omer? Is anyone can take action against you legally?
No.
No, right? So that means you have been protected by the profession or the legislation or the regulation part. That's where it is. So that is the safeguard. So these include requirement for entry into profession, continuing professional development, corporate governance, professional standards, monitoring disciplinary procedures. These are all certain mechanisms or activities taken care by the organization to safeguard the profession part of it. Second is safeguard created by the work environment. That is your rotation, removal relevant stuff. That's the reason board of directors we have seen rotation, removal by rotation part. Okay, then rotation removal of relevant staff from engagement team, independent quality control reviews using separate teams. So that's where it is. Then you have, how do we identify threats? Like these are all the few points or topics that will show that what kind of threat is it. Let's say you own share of the company. That means it is a self-interest, conflict of interest. Fee dependency. Like for an example, Omer Ganesh has been hired by Omer for a for audit, small audit for 15 lakhs. Okay, उसने ऑडिट कर दिया. अभी दूसरा ऑडिट आया और एक 10 लाख का. अभी गणेश का क्या है कि यार अगर ये ऑडिट में ठीक से नहीं करूंगा तो मेरा 15 लाख जो पहले पेंडिंग है वो नहीं मिलेगा, है कि नहीं? तो अनलेस एंड आई गिव ए फेवरेबल रिव्यू, मुझे पिछला 15 और ये 10, दैट इज 25 लाख नहीं मिलेगा. दैट इज you are having some dues that you need to recover from your client, and if I don't give them a report which as per their requirement, then I might not get my dues clear. Why? Because owners who are there, the users are different from the people who are running it, and dues you need to recover from the people who are running it, remember. So hence, in case there is any fee dependency or pending part of it, again that will be another factor to prove there is a conflict of interest. Understood? Omer, Urvi, Ganesh?
सर फिर सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट और सेल्फ रिव्यू में क्या डिफरेंस है?
कौन सा?
सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट एंड सेल्फ रिव्यू में, दोनों में वो खुद का ही देख रहा है ना.
राइट, लेकिन सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट में बाहर वाला देख रहा है, सेल्फ रिव्यू में विद इन द क्लाइंट. यू गॉट अ पॉइंट? अगर समझ लो विद इन, लाइक सी सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट में क्या है कि an external person, okay, so is seeing a kind of a future business in the client, whereas self review में क्या हो जाता है कि you are trying to see that
सर दोनों में एग्जांपल देके कंपेयर करो ना, so I can get
चलो
bit
first
better.
let's understand, okay, and then we'll see that. The examples see, these are, I'm giving you with examples only. Like owning share is an example. All these things are examples for self review. Okay, let's say for an example, tax. Tax is what? Self-review. Why self-review? That means you are going to calculate do the calculations, and then you are going to present it before the authorities. So your bills, your statements, your income statement, your balance sheets, all those things are going to be the proof for itself for the tax calculation. Okay, you might generate 10 lakh income, okay, and you might not pay any tax, but when you submit your returns, you're going to share your documents, upload your documents and all, they're going to check that. That's where the self review comes into place. Internal audit, that is again self review. Self review means an an initiative within the company, like account preparation. Account preparation कौन करता है? बाहर वाले तो नहीं करेंगे, कौन करेगा? Within the company, right? Urvi?
Yes, sir.
Then internal audit कौन करेगा? Within the company.
Hmm.
Tax computation कौन करेगा? Within the company.
Yes.
Valuation services की किस सर्विस को कितना देना है कौन डिसाइड करेगा? Within the company.
Within the company.
अगर क्लाइंट स्टाफ अगर मेरे ये ऑडिट टीम में आता है तो वो भी विद इन द कंपनी.
Hmm.
So that means all these things are self-review. Self-review means an initiative or taken by the company internally. Whereas self-interest is what? An interest of a firm or an individual of the third party. बाहर वाले के लिए might within the company. You got a point. Let's say Urvi is owning my company share and she's coming audit for my company. Then what happens? It is not a self-review. Why? Because you're not an employee of my company. You got a point. But
So that will be called self-interest.
yes. So when you're
Okay.
auditing my company, you are supposed to disclose to my not only board at the time of your appointment that you are having certain interest in my company, and hence, do you still want me to carry on the audit? You got a point. Though you might be transparent, you might take an unbiased process, but the possibility of in these factors influencing your decision might happen, right?
सर आपने ओवरड्यूज का बोला, ओवरड्यूज तो दोनों में है ना, एक्सटर्नल
इसमें
वाला भी, थर्ड पार्टी वाला भी अगर ओवरड्यूज कंडक्ट करेगा और उसका नेक्स्ट ऑडिट किया उसने, तो
हाँ,
उसका भी नॉर्मली 15 लाख हुआ, तो वो सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट में भी काउंट होता है और सेल्फ
सेल्फ रिव्यू में कैसे होगा?
रिव्यू में
बोलो
भी।
सेल्फ रिव्यू में कैसे होगा, मुझे बताओ. ड्यू, मुझे बताओ.
अगर इंटरनल ऑडिट का उसने
इंटर ऑडिट में उसको
ओवरड्यूज
इंटर ऑडिट
ओवरड्यूज
में
किया।
ओवरड्यू क्यों रहेगा? इंटरनल ऑडिट इज व्हाट? Internal audit is a company employee is doing the audit, kind of like an audit committee is assigning a particular employee to carry on the internal audit. उसमें ड्यू क्यों रहेगा? उसको तो सैलरी मिल रहा है.
ओके।
इंटरनल ऑडिट कौन करेगा? बाहर वाला भी कर सकता है और अंदर वाला भी करेगा. Internal audit is what? An audit carrying on by the audit committee, right? Though being a professional, you can carry on the internal audits, but that is an internal affairs of the company. That is an internal affairs of the company. So hence, most of the internal audits are done by the audit committee staff. You got a point?
ओके।
So that way. Then your employment with the client, overdue fees, then contingency fees, litigation with the client. So ये सब जो है, there are certain we classify that as self-interest. Okay? ये दो समझ में आ गए? गणेश, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट और सेल्फ रिव्यू में डिफरेंस क्या है? Next is familiarity. What is familiarity? Like you have been knowing the person for a longer time. Well, or probably you might have a personal relationship like Jija, Sala, or anyone for that reason. Okay, yeah, friendship, we can say that. And movement of staff between the firms. Like मेरा स्टाफ आपके कंपनी में काम कर रहा है और प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर, और आपका स्टाफ मेरे प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर काम कर रहा है. Okay, और some kind of gifted hospitality. तो भी क्या याद रखेगा? Right? So these are the ones again which shows that how we are going to have it. These are all the threats, huh? Remember, these are all the threats. Next, intimidation. Intimidation is again fee dependency जो अपन ने देखा. जिस तरह से फी डिपेंडेंसी, यहाँ पे भी फी डिपेंडेंसी है, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट, ओके, और यहाँ पे भी फी डिपेंडेंसी है। दोनों में क्या फर्क है उर्वी? टेल मी
तो नहीं
व्हाट इज,
पता।
उमेर, उमेर बोलो, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द सेल्फ डिपेंडेंसी, फी डिपेंडेंसी इन सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट एंड द फी डिपेंडेंसी इन इंटिमिडेशन? दोनों में फर्क क्या है? दोनों में फर्क क्या है मुझे बताओ।
सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट में हमारे लिए प्रॉफिटेबल ज्यादा रहेगा, वो फी डिपेंडेंसी इधर क्लाइंट पे डिपेंड करता है कि अगर अच्छा किया तो।
ओके, यस उमेर, यू आर राइट। देखो उर्वी, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट में फी डिपेंडेंसी इज, इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द प्रोफेशनल। लेट्स से उर्वी, उर्वी मेरे कंपनी का ऑलरेडी 2 ऑडिट्स कर चुकी है और जिसके लिए मुझे उसको 15 लाख देने हैं पास्ट के लिए, राइट? अब यहाँ पे अगर उर्वी ये सोचती है कि यार मैं तीसरा ऑडिट अभी मैं ऑडिट करूंगी, इसका भी पैसा मुझे चाहिए, अगर मैं ये ऑडिट नहीं करूंगी तो मेरा पुराना पैसा नहीं आएगा, बेटर डू द ऑडिट एंड डू गेट माय ओल्ड ड्यूज। दैट इज योर थिंकिंग, राइट? व्हेन यू आर थिंकिंग फ्रॉम योर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, दैट इज सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट। गॉट माय पॉइंट? अगर मैं पुराने ऑडिट्स का पैसा दिमाग में रख के मैं अगर बोलूंगा देखो उर्वी, ये अभी ऑडिट मेरे फेवर में होना चाहिए, अदरवाइज आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू गिव क्लियर योर ड्यूज, या फिर डिले हो जाएगा, आई और प्रॉब्ली इज एट स्टेक, दैट इज व्हाट हैपनिंग। एक तरह से मैं ब्लैकमेल कर रहा हूँ कि नहीं? सो दैट इज इंटिमिडेशन। यू गॉट अ पॉइंट? दिस इज सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट। इसलिए बोलो, देखो सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट मींस सेल्फ, कौन सेल्फ? प्रोफेशनल, एसीसीए। इंटिमिडेशन इज व्हाट? द क्लाइंट, जो अभी ओमेर ने बताया। The client is using this as an opportunity to take advantage. You got a point? The same with personal relationship. Personal relationship, देखिए यहाँ पे intimidation है, familiarity. Again, familiarity is from the individual point of view, whereas intimidation is I'm using, taking advantage of the relationship, like friends. Okay, so same वैसा ही. Next, audit partners leave to join client. Again, that is intimidation and litigation with the client. Okay, so all these things are factors that are going to create a kind of a,
मतलब ये सब पूरा क्लाइंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, and जो
yes,
फेमिलियरिटी सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट का वो इंडिविजुअल पॉइंट ऑफ
individual
व्यू
point
था।
of view, that is from the practitioner point of view.
ओके।
Okay, advocacy, that is, advocacy means you are representing the client, you are favoring the client, or you are promoting the client. So when you are promoting the client, then definitely, and negotiating on behalf of the client, so definitely you are going to see their favor and all. So when you are trying to represent the client, even though they are wrong, what you are going to prove it? You are trying to prove that they are right. So all these things are threats during your course of your profession.
So promoting the client means like for what?
देखो यहाँ पे दिया है एग्जांपल, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट एंड ऑल, इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट्स। ओके, प्रमोटिंग द क्लाइंट में क्या है देखो, so promoting the client means you are trying to support the position of the client.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're supporting it, or when you're representing the client in the court or any other situations part of it, you are trying to apply all the principles which might help him or them in those. Okay, so where matter is not material or financial statements, the firm should, so professionals who are not members of audit team to perform the service, so providing services involving promoting, dealing, underwriting and audit client shares. So what they're doing, whenever your advocacy, when you're supporting them, when you're creating those things, so then you are trying to, that's again, it is a threat when they are wrong. So let's see one by one threat with the example part. Fee dependency threat. So over dependency on an audit client could lead to auditor to ignore adjustment, जो अभी अपन ने डिस्कस किया था fee dependency का. So how do you safeguard? See, listed clients हैं, So this is how you need to deal it. Or unlisted है or non-listed, then this it is. So if fees from an audit client represents a large portion of the total fees, okay, so implement safeguards such as reduce dependency on the client, reducing dependency on the client, or consulting the third party on the key audit judgments, okay, or heavy external quality control review. So these are the three ways we can reduce the over dependency of the audit client when they are non-listed. Listed hai, so that's very easy.
सर
If हम
कंसल्टिंग विद द थर्ड पार्टी ऑन की ऑडिट जजमेंट्स का
Mhm.
मतलब क्या रिलेट रहेगा वो फी
let's
डिपेंडेंसी
say
में?
fee dependency, let's say for an example, because you need to recover your fees when you're compromising on certain key means major issues when you're certifying it, like when they are going for big projects, okay, like uh, 500 crores project,
ओके
or some other factors when it comes to key judgments part of it, whether they want to close shut down, or they want to expand it, or they're going for the financial aid or loans and all. So they are very key from the company's point of view. So in that case, your opinion matters a lot, right? तो आप ये भी बोल सकते हो कि भैया सी जिस तरह से फी डिपेंडेंसी है, लाइक हम लोगों ने इंटिमिडेशन, राइट, इंटिमिडेशन वो कर सकता है, राइट? फी डिपेंडेंसी क्या है? इट इज फ्रॉम योर साइड एज वेल एज फ्रॉम हिज साइड. समझ
बोथ
लो, फॉर
साइड.
एग्जांपल इंटिमिडेशन करना चाहता है तो आपके पास भी तो हथियार है. तो आप बोलोगे ठीक है, मुझे पैसा ही नहीं दोगे ना, मैं भी नेगेटिव रिव्यू डाल दूंगा. मैं तो मैं भी देखता हूँ तुझे लोन कैसे मिलता है. तो क्या होगा, वो डरेगा कि नहीं डरेगा?
सर बट पहले दो उसने ऑडिट किया, उसका ड्यू है और उसको
राइट.
थर्ड ऑडिट करना पड़ा, तो वो कैसे रिव्यू डालेगा थर्ड ऑडिट में? वो
और वो
करेगा
ये
ही
नहीं
नहीं,
डालेगा
उसको
ना.
देगा ही नहीं.
लेकिन देखो, थर्ड ऑडियो अगर वो नहीं करेगा तो रिकवर कैसे करेगा? अगर अगर बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स उसको दे रही है काम और उसने एंगेजमेंट ले लिया, लेने के बाद ही तो वो धमकी दे सकता है ना.
सर बट टू ऑडिट के पेंडिंग है और थर्ड ऑडिट उसके पास गया और उसको बोले करके यू हैव टू डू. तो
हाँ,
अगर इसके ऊपर डिपेंड है ना क्लाइंट प्रोफेशनल के ऊपर कि वो कर भी सकता है नहीं भी कर सकता है, वो तो उसको झक मार के करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि लास्ट ओवर टू ड्यूज तो उसका
उसे
पेंडिंग
चेक मार
है.
के करना पड़ेगा, राइट. चलो,
हम्म.
अभी उर्वी आपने मेरे 2 ऑडिट्स किए और मैंने आपको 2 ऑडिट्स के पैसा नहीं दिया. अभी मैं तीसरा ऑडिट दे रहा हूँ, राइट. अभी आपके दिमाग में डर क्या है? अरे यार, अगर मैं इसको अभी ना बोलूंगी तो मेरे दूसरा 2 ऑडिट के मैं पैसे कैसे रिकवर करूंगी, राइट? आप लोगोगे कि नहीं लोगे?
हम्म.
राइट, लोगे ना.
हम्म.
बट थर्ड ऑडिट का डिसीजन कौन देगा?
मैं तो फिर खुद ही दूंगी. ओके.
आप ही दोगे. तो
हम्म.
वो आप ही के हाथ में है, मेरा ओपिनियन, राइट.
ओके.
तो जैसे मैंने आपको इंटिमिडेट किया कि आप मुझे फेवरेबल डिसीजन, यू हैव टू डू द ऑडिट, और मुझे फेवरेबल डिसीजन दो, मैं आपको 2 क्लियर कर दूंगा, ठीक है. तो उसी
ओके.
तरह जब आप थर्ड ऑडिट करोगे, जब ओपिनियन की बात आएगी, डोंट यू थिंक यू कैन डू द रिवर्स?
हम्म.
क्योंकि आपके ओपिनियन के बेसिस में तो मेरे डिसीजंस हैं, मेरे शेयर होल्डर्स मानेंगे, ओनर यूजर्स विल ट्रस्ट इट, और आई विल गेट अ लोन, और आई विल गेट द
फिर
प्रोजेक्ट.
ऐसा भी हो सकता है ना कि वो कंपनी ने फ्रॉड किया बट इसने गुड ओपिनियन दिया क्योंकि वो फीस
हो
का
सकता है,
मैटर है.
यस. वो अगर आप दोगे तो देन दैट इज योर मिस्टेक, फी डिपेंडेंसी, यस, इट इज अ
हम्म.
थ्रेट. अगर आप उसका फायदा उठाओगे तो यू कैन टेक दैट एज वेल.
ओके.
दोनों पॉइंट डिपेंड्स अपॉन, डर दोनों तरफ से है. ये है कि आपका डर ये है कि यू हैव टू रिकवर योर फीस, और उसका डर ये है कि ही नीड्स अ फेवरेबल ओपिनियन. सो दोनों तरफ से गिव एंड टेक है ना.
हम्म.
सो देयर इज नथिंग दैट यू नीड टू कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन.
सर तो इसमें वही इसका ही कहाँ रोल आया, कंसल्टिंग विद द थर्ड पार्टी ऑन की ऑर्डर जजमेंट्स?
तो अब अगर थर्ड पार्टी का मैं जजमेंट बोलूंगा, तभी तो यू विल बी फ्री फ्रॉम योर थ्रेट ना. व्हेन की थिंग्स कम, जैसे अभी आपने बताया कि वो लोन लेना चाहता है या फ्रॉड करना चाहता है,
हम्म.
तो आप डिसीजन तो नहीं लोगे.
हम्म.
यू विल हैव
मतलब
अ
ही
सेकंड
विल
ओपिनियन.
कंसल्ट कि
यस,
ये इसने ऐसा ऐसा किया है टाइप ऑफ
right.
समथिंग.
So you want to have some third opinion part, okay. So that means you will be trying to have some kind of an advice. What should you do in that particular situation? Okay. So that is when it is non-listed client. और listed client है, a firm's independence is threatened, जैसे अभी आपने बताया, so and should be reviewed if total fees for a listed client exceeds 15% of the firm's total fee for 2 consecutive years. अगर आपके 2 consecutive years में उसका fees is exceeding 15% of the total firm's fees for 2 consecutive years, the firm should disclose in the report governance and the client. Okay, वो अपने रिपोर्ट में मेंशन कर सकते, यू नो पॉइंट. अगर लिस्टेड क्लाइंट है तो वो अपने
Okay.
रिपोर्ट में मेंशन कर सकता है. तो जब आप अपने रिपोर्ट में मेंशन करोगे एज पर द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, व्हाट हैपेंस, तो वो आपको क्लियर करेगा कि नहीं करेगा?
हाँ वो क्लियर करेगा.
करेगा ना, आपको वो पॉइंट से करने से पहले. So that means you don't need to worry, right? And you can give your opinion very frank or fair opinion, transparent. So that's where it is. And independent engagement quality review should be performed by a person, not a member of the audit firm. जब भी independent engagement रहता है तो वो एक individual करेगा, not a member of the audit firm, because whenever he is expressing the opinion by the professional regulatory body. So ये कब कर सकता है? Either a pre-issuance review, okay, before the second year audit opinion is issued, or post-issuance review on the second year audit before the third year audit opinion. That means आप ये ओपिनियन कब कर सकती हो? देखो, आपका रिव्यू देने से पहले, दैट इज द सेकंड ईयर रिव्यू से पहले, या फिर थर्ड ईयर का जो रिव्यू शुरू होने से पहले. योर पॉइंट.
Okay.
आपका ओपिनियन, यू हैव अ गुड सेकंड ईयर ऑडिट ओपिनियन कैन बी इशूड पोस्ट इश्यूड रिव्यू, और थर्ड ईयर के ऑडिट ओपिनियन देने से पहले. Okay, you can always change that. Okay, like for an example, अभी आपने बोला कि मुझे पैसे नहीं देगा and I have to give it, और मैंने उसको फ्रॉड वाला दे दिया. So before his next review, आपका पैसा मिलने के बाद probably you can disclose it, what mistakes you made, and you can get it corrected.
ओके, मतलब ऐसा हुआ तो वो पहले कैश ले लेगा.
Next review से
Then-
पहले आप you can give your opinion or change it and disclose it. है कि नहीं?
मतलब वही लेवल का अपन प्रीवियस ईयर में भी चेंजेस कर सकते हैं.
Yes, before the
Okay.
next year. आप सेकंड ईयर का ऑडिट में रिव्यू करके, इसलिए तो उसको रिव्यू बोला है. व्हाट इज रिव्यू? रिव्यू मींस द थिंग्स दैट यू हैव ऑलरेडी डन बिफोर, उसके ऊपर आप यू आर कमेंटिंग ऑन इट बिफोर द नेक्स्ट. ओके, एंड देन गिफ्ट एंड हॉस्पिटैलिटी. So when you are accepting goods, services of your client and all, so that is creating self interest as well as familiar, दोनों threat to the auditor. तो क्या होगा? So you can create a policy in your audit firm that no acceptable gifts from your clients. Again, and the value is trivial and inconsequential, offered in the normal course of business without intent to influence decision making. The offer of gift and hospitality must be documented in audit file even if it is refused. अगर आप refuse भी कर रहे हो या ले रहे हो, what are the case? Even you are refusing it, then you have to mention that. और यहाँ पे दिया देखो, gift and hospitality may not be accepted. अगर accepted भी है, unless it is not affecting your work, and two, if it is affecting, then you have to document it. Okay. Owning shares or financial interest, जो अपन ने देखा अभी. Any member, ऑडिट टीम में अगर कोई मेंबर उस कंपनी का शेयर होल्ड कर रहा है तो उसको वो कमिटी में डालो ही मत, या तो उसको बोलो कि यू डिस्पोज योर शेयर्स इमीडिएटली, और उसको टीम में से निकाल दो. सिंपल. ऑडिट टीम में से निकाल दो वो पर्टिकुलर पर्सन जिसके शेयर्स कंपनी का उसने खरीदा है. ओके. सेम विद अदर्स. ओवरड्यू फीस जो भी अपने डिस्कस किया. So the overdue fees may be regarded as a loan. So do not perform any further work or issue any report to or the client until the outstanding is paid. Clearly, arrangement have been agreed. An independent review of the work should be performed if less remains unpaid after the report has been issued. See, जो अभी ने discuss किया. Loan and guarantees. See these two. देखो loan and guarantee. How we are going to safeguard. So left side is what? The threat, and right side is what? The safeguard. Safeguard is nothing but what activity that you can take it, action you can take it to ensure that the threat is no longer a threat. Done loan and guarantee? Umer, Ganesh, Urvi? So yeah, in here, loan and guarantee. So the client that is probably a bank or similar institutions will not create a threat to independence provided it is on commercial terms or normal course of business. But how I can safeguard it? So whenever you have a loan and guarantee between the audit clients and the audit team members, that is actually it is immaterial when carrying on your audit. Business or on commercial terms are not permitted. So if a loan is made to the firm, then it's immaterial to both the firm and the client. Okay. So hence you have to safeguard the interest of loan and guarantee in this form. Same with business relationship. If audit firms enter into business relationship with client, this leads to self-interest. So how am I going to safeguard that self-interest? So in case of audit firms or partners of those, unless immaterial, no safeguard can reduce this threat. So you cannot reduce this threat when you're doing business with them. If it is firm between partners and firms. But in case team member is there, you can always remove that person. If a particular member is interacting or having business relationship with your client, you can always remove that particular individual from your audit team. But in the initially, your the first case you can't. If you're purchasing goods and services by an audit member, so again you can remove that particular person from the team. So the possibility is there as far as that individual, one person is doing having a business relationship with the client whose accounts you're auditing, the member audit team member. The same way, potential employment with an audit client. So, if a member of an engagement team has a reason to believe that they may become an employee in future. Okay. So, in that case, the policies and procedures of the firm should require such individual to notify the firm or the possibility of employment with the client, or you probably don't consider him for that particular audit, like remove from the individual from the assurance engagement, or perform an independent review of significant judgments made by that individual. Saying contingent fees, the auditor would have incentive to ensure that particular outcome is achieved. So contingency, that means you are giving a kind of an incentive to the auditor, saying in case it is favorable, you are going to get additional perks. That you can say with when you're you can safeguard it by creating a kind of fee structure based on the outcome. A compensation evaluation go through, and Ganesh and Omer, you have to tell me compensation evaluation part. पढ़ो समझो and बोलो. Umer, I'll share you the digital copy of the audit and assurance study note and this thing. Ganesh, आप collect कर लो office से. और मेरा आप जब F2 का एग्जाम दोगे तो then you collect physically. Till the time you can use digital copies. Done. So tell me, Ganesh, compensation evaluation policy. So tell me, Ganesh.
So, self-interest threats.
Hmm. Omer, so what do you understood from this compensation evaluation policies?
taking the risk for non-assurance.
Okay. So how do you define it? Hmm.
If it's related to his promotion, he might try to do it, even if he's not assured
Okay.
of the income.
Hello.
Uh,
Hello.
Bolo Ganesh.
Sir, due to self-interest, the audit committee or audit team is assuring the assuring it.
Okay. See, normally what happens is, the sales guys do cross selling, right? Sales guys क्या करते हैं? What do they do? What they do? Let's say for an example, I sold one product to Omer. I sold my product to Omer. So Omer is my client. Knowing that client, I'm selling other products. Let's say बैंक का. आपने बैंक में अकाउंट खोला, आपको हर दिन बैंक में मैसेज आता है कि नहीं एफडी खोलो, स्पेशल इंटरेस्ट रेट, राइट? या फिर ओपन अ डीमैट अकाउंट, डू ट्रेडिंग, स्पेशल incentives part of it. So that means what? The once you open a particular service, they are trying to do, the staff is trying to do a cross selling. Why? Because they are getting special incentives for uh, doing generating more business from the existing clients, right? Yes or no? You want a point? So that means when you're an auditing, let's say you're especially compensation evaluation policies में क्या हो जाता है audit firm में? See, you are particular auditing a particular activity, let's say financial audit. Okay, so now your organization is also doing operational audit or risk audit or security audit or IT security audit part of it. So what happens? आपका जो team member जो रहेगा, while doing this particular audit, he is trying to cross sell or he is going to sell the non assurance services जहाँ पे assurance services नहीं है. You got a point? So that means to sell those other services, I am trying to give the best service at this point of time, right? Agar if that is your goal, then what happens? You are going to compromise on my this audit. यस और नो? मैं आपको अभी खुश करूंगा तभी तो आप मेरे बाकी सर्विसेज लोगे, राइट उमेर?
Yes.
So if that is in your mind and you are going to compromise on the audit, so that means you are using those आपका performance is based on your compromise. You expect that अगर मैं ये audit favorable में डालूंगा तो they are going to give our company additional and वो मेरे खाते में जाएगा. So you are seeing from your individual interest point of view or not?
Yes.
So that is composition and evaluation policies. So in that case, if you have certain staff which thinks in that way, then it's always better to keep them out of the audit team. You got my point? So whenever you have a staff, जबकि marketing में वैसे staff चाहिए, but when it comes to audit, you do not need those people who compromise the audit work because for the sake of generating future benefits for the company, because their incentives are based on those. Understood? Then actual or threat litigation. So litigation again is another representing of breakdown of trust in the relationship between the auditor and client. They may actually affect the impartiality of the auditor part, and they might lead to some kind of differences or disclosures part of it. So when it comes to threat, it depends upon the materiality वो कितना important है towards the assurance engagement. Now it may be possible that continue other assurance engagements जहाँ पे आपको where you don't see any threat, but even in that case also you have to discuss with your audit committees. You have to discuss the matter with the client audit committee, saying that we have these litigations, we have these tests. If the litigation involves individual, then उसको team में से निकाल दो. But अगर it's involved, the firm is involved, then you have to discuss with the audit committee that this is what it is going on. Do you still want us to do your audit? Obtain an external review of the work done. If adequate safeguards cannot be implemented, then the best thing is to withdraw the engagement partner or decline. Understood?
सर एग्जांपल दो ना इसका.
Let's say for an example, मेरी कंपनी ने आपकी कंपनी के ऊपर केस डाल दिया. ओके, आपका क्या है? ऑडिट फर्म है और आपका कुछ सर्विसेज थे, तो आपका एक टीम मेंबर ने, अगर इंडिविजुअल है तो आपके टीम मेंबर जो कि ही वाज यूजिंग माय प्रोडक्ट्स, लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल मेरा टूथपेस्ट आपके एक स्टाफ ने यूज किया. ओके, मेरा कॉलगेट नहीं, सम टोलगेट समझ लो, मेरा पेस्ट का नाम है टोलगेट, और आपका टीम मेंबर जो है समझ लो गणेश इज योर टीम मेंबर, ऑडिट कर रहा है, एंड उर्वी अपनी बिजनेस में गणेश इज द बेस्ट टीम मेंबर, एंड उसने मेरा प्रोडक्ट यूज किया था बीइंग अ कस्टमर, बिकॉज़ एनीवन कैन बी माय कस्टमर, मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स का, बट उसने पेस्ट किया एंड पेस्ट यूज किया तो उसका एक दो तीन दांत गिर गए यूज करते, जैसे उसने मुंह में टूथब्रश रखा वो गिर गया. अभी उसने मेरे कंज्यूमर फोरम में मेरे कंपनी के खिलाफ या प्रोडक्ट के खिलाफ उसने केस डाल दिया. ओके, दो बोथ इज सेपरेट, बट अगर आप गणेश को अपने टीम में लोगे तो इट इज नॉट इन माय इंटरेस्ट, राइट? यू गॉट अ पॉइंट? और भी समझ में आया?
सर नहीं समझा.
अच्छा, आप यू आर इनटू ऑडिट. Okay, you are a team of you are working for an audit firm. Okay, you bought my product, and the product was defective and you raised a complaint in the consumer forum, and then it is an ongoing case. Case. Now we have a business with your firm, not with you, with your firm, for audit, and they have appointed you on the audit team, right?
ओके, तो इंडिविजुअल पर्सन को या फिर निकाल देंगे.
या तो निकाल दो, because you might take that litigation into your personal thing, right? या अगर individual नहीं है, it is with the company, then you have to discuss the matter with the audit committee. Having the litigation, do you still want to go with the company for audit part?
Okay.
So that's how you need to do that. तो अपन ये we'll stop here for today. Familiarity thread we'll start from tomorrow. For tomorrow we'll in brief we'll cover this and we'll take it forward. क्योंकि आज 3 लोग नहीं है ना. Okay. So that way.
Okay.
So fine. I'll see you tomorrow. कल class है. Tomorrow is Friday, right? So कल class है. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Because we cannot take it yesterday because of network connectivity. We took today. So we'll have tomorrow as scheduled. Okay. चलो ठीक है. Bye bye.